As a healthcare life science medtech marketer, I've been to about 30 conferences and trade shows, and two of the marquee ones that I was able to attend this year focused around pathology, US CAP, and also AMP. And I've had some great conversations with not only the marketers, right, for a lot of the clients and prospects we're working with, but also the sales team, and uncovering a lot of different challenges this year. And as you start planning out your initiatives and strategies for next year, if you're trying to influence, educate those niche pathologists, well, I'm going to break down several different tactics, but some of the challenges that we're hearing, or at least I'm hearing at these major conferences for pathology, it's right on the sales side, it's more challenging now than ever to get in front of these pathologists, right? They're not taking meetings. They're blocking people, obviously. And this started long before the pandemic, and obviously it's just exacerbated obviously since the pandemic. So major challenges to get in front of them, talk about your solution. Gatekeepers, obviously that's the usual suspects. Conferences, as I mentioned, conferences are still a huge initiative for our clients. They will continue to be, but conference rates, right, they continue to go up. ROI sometimes hard to measure. Clients, prospects are looking for new tactics, new strategies to reach pathologists. So I'm going to break down several different ways that you can reach them both digitally and also for using video. Everybody continues to use social media, right? It's a mixed bag of results, not for sure if it's actually moving the needle when it comes to the growth of your adoption towards pathologists. The other big challenge is a lot of clients are still cranking out a ton of different webinars, educational information, white papers, ebooks, all that stuff is great. But how effective has it been? People are getting limited signups, engagement's kind of low. That's kind of the state of the conversations that I've had at US CAP and then also AMP. So in this video, I'm going to showcase specifically different ways and how you can leverage the power of video to educate influences pathologists digitally. And really it starts with NPI numbers, which you may be familiar with, national provider identifiers, also billing codes. So I'm going to show how we partner with data providers to leverage that information. And the great thing about this information, this data, is we can share a report every single month to show which pathologists are the most engaged and most interested. So how would that change your business if you had a monthly report, right, that shows specifically which pathologist clicked on your ad and then went to your website? The other thing is showcasing strategies around amplification about a product launch or data that you're releasing. So if you're focusing on US CAP, AMP, or any other pathology conferences, I'm going to break down some different tactics and how you can showcase your solution digitally through a tactic that's called geofencing. So it's a great way if you have a product launch, right, to increase exposure for your booth during the actual conference, but then 30 days later, re-engage them and remarket to them. We're going to walk through that. And then finally, I'm going to show you a variety of different tactics and the superpower of video to capture peer-to-peer content at your major conferences this year and obviously also into next year. So I'm going to break down 3 overall tactics that you'll need to engage, influence pathologists digitally. The goal is obviously to increase awareness, education about your solution, amplify anything that you're doing from a product data launch perspective. And really the big thing is, again, leveraging the power of that data, national provider identifiers, also ICD-10 codes, CPT codes, billing codes. All that information is available to us. We mine that information. We work with our data partners to understand specifically these numbers and then help bridge the gap to reach pathologists digitally. And I'm going to break down the secret sauce and how it actually works. So if you're a pathologist and you have an NPI number, and we all know every pathologist has to have that NPI number. Well, as you navigate going online to normal lifestyle sites, so again, up here on the screen, you can see Fortune, New York Times, Yahoo, Forbes, Spotify, USA Today, Food Network, travel websites. There's thousands and thousands of websites that we're able to target based on a programmatic display advertising strategy. And really, it's a great strategy because it's cross-device. Most HCPs and pathologists, obviously, it's cross-device, meaning like most people have about 3 or 4 different devices that they leverage every single day. So mobile phone, laptop, computer, and this is a digital execution campaign. So we're able to optimize as we go. So if we need to switch audience, and I'm going to break down the different number of pathologists that we can reach, but if we need to switch to a different audience, we have that opportunity, obviously, in this Video, we're talking about pathologists, but we want to look at the website, the landing page we're driving the traffic to. How do we optimize that? There's a variety of different ad formats that we look at. Frequency is a huge thing that we look at too from a education awareness standpoint. That's the great thing about digital and how it works and how we can optimize as we go. So here's a quick breakdown specifically around the different pathologists that we can actually reach based on the different subsets. So there's a variety of different pathologists, obviously, that you can see here on the screen. So we've got just a little bit over 21,000, but then there's also subspecialties. So what we're trying to do is specifically look at where we can reach your audience digitally using these NPI numbers. So I'm happy to share this information. If it's helpful, let me know. And then specifically, we want to be able to report and then optimize about this targeting. So the reporting is going to be huge. Again, what I was mentioning earlier is specifically around using this report, we get granular information back. So again, if you had this monthly report, you're the marketing person, you're trying to turn a marketing qualified lead into a sales qualified lead. This is the information that we're able to provide every single month. NPI number, first name, last name, city, state, zip code, specialty, if there's a hospital affiliation, right? So what most clients are doing is they're leveraging this information, they're sharing it with the sales team, and then the sales team is what they're doing is they're dividing and conquering, right? This is actionable data. These are the people that actually clicked on the ad, went back to the website. So they saw your information, right, online, they clicked on it, went back to your website, and then you can share this information. So if you have, like, let's say, for example, an outside sales team, let's say that outside sales team is different, right, territories. So you can slice and dice the data based on the location, right? So again, you've got the address, you got the city, you got the state, you've got the zip code. So all that information is available. You can slice and dice that data. A lot of clients, what they do is upload to the CRM like Salesforce or HubSpot, and then they can assign, right, these leads. Because again, these are the people that actually saw the ad, went back to your website. Very actionable data. The other strategy, number two, is how do we use advanced targeting to reach pathologists during the major conferences, as I was mentioning? Well, it's called geofencing. I know it sounds kind of creepy, but as a marketer, right, we're all kind of creepers when it comes to this. So the geofencing works specifically around these different trade shows, right? It's a virtual fence. It's anonymous. So it's a little bit different than the NPI targeting where we've got that data up front. We just know based on longitude and latitude that that particular attendee is actually at the conference, at the trade show. We use mobile phones, right? Again, it's a mobile ID. If you have your location-based app turned on, and most people do, right? They're getting their Uber, they're getting their Lyft, right? They're checking the weather. All that information is there. So we're going to leverage it. We're going to pinpoint it. So no matter where these conferences are at, if it's in Europe, we can also do this too. Again, it's based on longitude and latitude and rooftops. We can do the convention center. We can do adjacent hotels. Most conferences have like partnerships with the hotels, other meetings in there. We can also do that across that headquarter hotels, right? And it's accurate within 10 feet. So it's a great way to educate your pathologist while they're actually at these conferences. What I love about it too, it's a great way to reinforce what you're doing. So if you have a product launch, if you're releasing data, if you have a product theater, if you have a workshop, right? It's a great way to drive that booth traffic. But the other tactic is 30 days later, anybody that clicks on the ad, we have an opportunity to re-engage them further down the buyer's journey, right? They see the first ad, hopefully they interact, they click on it, they go back to your website. Again, we can get that information and then retarget to them 30 days afterwards. Most conferences, right, that pathologists are going to, it's a paralysis analysis, meaning there's so much information being shared and consumed that they're going to forget 90% of it, right? So how do you stand out post-conference? Well, this 30-day tactic is a great way to influence them, educate them about your solution. It's very similar when it comes to the one-to-one targeting. What we're essentially doing is it's lifestyle sites. So think of your normal media consumption, news, sports, weather, travel, finance. That display ad is going to pop up as they read those different articles online. The other great tactic specifically around conferences and how you can stand out, it's a little bit different than being online and digital. It's still digital. It's digital out of home, DOOH. It's what we're doing when it comes to billboards, LED screens. So essentially what's going on is any high traffic location, for example, like McCormick Place. You come out of McCormick Place in Chicago, and what happens is everybody's waiting for Ubers. They're walking specifically to different locations, hotels, restaurants, and then essentially these are LED screens in high traffic public places, as you can see here on the screen. And there's a variety of different screens that we can target. So from a top of the funnel awareness tactic, this is a great way to stand out. So again, if you have a product launch, if you have data that you're releasing that's really marquee and you need to get it out there, this could be something to definitely look at and think about. And then the superpower of being able to be at these conferences, our video crew is typically capturing a variety of different strategic content for our clients. So as you develop your video content strategy for next year, think about maximizing your opportunity at either AMP or USCAP or any other conference you're planning for. These are the usual things that we're typically capturing. And you may be familiar with most of these, maybe not. Specifically, it's around peer-to-peer content. So KOL customer testimonials. If you've got data that you're releasing, right, that's a great way to get data reaction videos. If you're spending a ton of money on those product theaters and workshops, hey, why don't you hedge your bet, capture that information on video, create an on-demand version afterwards, because you're not for sure who's going to be attending these product theaters, right? Again, if you have podium presentations, the other opportunity is, hey, if your leadership's there or your subject matter experts are there, that's another great opportunity. And a majority of time that what we're doing is, as you can see here on the picture, it's in booth, right? It's easy opportunity to capture those KOLs. But the other thing that we work with clients on is going to hospitality suite right across the street to make it easy too. Different environment. Obviously, hospitality suite's got a different background, different vibe than what's on the trade show floor. So it really depends on what style you're trying to execute. And then the third and final strategy tactic is all about the post-conference follow-up. So a couple of these tactics that I mentioned have that 30 days post-conference retargeting. So whether you're doing the NPI one-to-one targeting to those pathologists, what we're trying to do is drive them to the website, create that digital sales ecosystem so they re-engage 30 days afterwards. So if you've got ongoing campaigns, that's a great way to do it. As I mentioned for the conference geofencing, those are all 30 days afterwards as well. So it's definitely a great way to stand out. And then finally, video, right? If you've got those product theaters, if you've got those KOLs, you've got those reaction videos, right? It's a great way to post online after the event to continue to educate, influence those niche pathologists long after the conference. So as you map out your initiatives and strategies for the rest of the year or for the next 6 months, or if you've got a product launch that you're trying to really increase awareness and education about your solution, I hope this information has been valuable. Bye for now.